For a little while now, people have been wondering what Hasbro's version of Beyblade Burst Sparking is going to be called. The name Beyblade Burst Surge was actually kind of thrown around because it showed up in a Hasbro video, but then that video was taken down and then it was removed, but there was some uncertainty if that was actually real or not. Well, the Australian Beyblade Burst Amazon store now has updated, and probably updated a little bit too early, because I guess we see Hyperion and the name Beyblade Burst Surge, so let's talk about it. So before we get on to the news, if we could hit 500 likes on this video, that would be great. And thank you guys for the support on my World Spriggan unboxing. You guys are insane. And if you have not seen that video, go and watch it, first off. But if you haven't seen that video, I am collaborating with Mall of Toys to do a giveaway for 10 World Spriggans. So links will be in the description down below. Join the giveaway if you want a chance to win a World Spriggan. Also, subscribe to the channel, become part of the Nook Nation, and now it's time to move on to the Beyblade Burst Surge news. So, taking a look at the banner first, it's kind of stretched out, but as you guys can see, we see the name Beyblade Burst Surge on the very, very right, and in the middle, we have a clash of bays. We have the Hasbro version of Hyperion front and center. That's kind of the star bay, I assume, over Helios. At least that's the way it looks right now. And it's just completely shredding through a Doulahan. If this is an upgraded one, I'm not 100% sure. It could be an evolution. It could also just be an old bay. I'm really not 100%. So first, the name, Beyblade Burst Surge. I kind of like it. There's really nothing bad I can say about this name. It follows in the scheme of Turbo, Rise, Surge. It just makes sense. And since it's called Beyblade Burst Surge instead of Sparking, I wonder if they're going to change the whole Sparking Shoot idea into a Surge Shoot. That would be kind of cool, and I feel like that would make sense. We also see some like electricity effects going on around Hyperion and on Doulahan, so I feel like the Surge kind of sparking electricity thing, once again, just kind of makes sense. So really, there's not much to talk about for the name, so we're going to look at the Hyperion itself. So what are some things that we can notice straight away in comparison to the Takara Tomy version of Hyperion? So first of all is the sparking core, or the lack thereof, I guess. It looks like it's going to be combined into the layer itself. Really, this is not surprising at all, considering that Hasbro combined GT chips into the layers for Rise, and now they're combining the sparking cores into the Surge layers, if that's what they're called. Looking at the layer portion for Hyperion, it actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's missing some like flame details that are stickers for Takara Tomy, but that's not really a big deal. And it looks like it has chassis clips, but it doesn't have a chassis. So this means one of two things. Either they completely nerfed the chassis down and it's super, super small now, basically like a different version of a disc, and you can still plug it in the same way, or the silver chassis parts are actually just a part of the layer itself, and there is no chassis. We're just getting a normal disc instead. With how Beyblade Burst Rise went, this is what I expect actually. I expect there to be no chassis at all, and they just make the layers thinner, and we have a normal disc instead. This is overall going to make the bays just weigh half as much, which does make sense considering that the Rise bays weighed like half as much as their GT version, so it's unfortunate, but it does make sense. What is pretty interesting though, and I think is the most interesting part of this entire picture, is the little bits of the driver we can see. And actually, right above the driver, there's this little silvery segment, and that's probably a modified disc to kind of make it look like it's 1A. I'm not really too sure. It does just look like a new disc though. But anyways, going back to the driver. So all of the Hypersphere Rise bays had the similar kind of egg-shaped driver, or performance tip they call it, but this does not have that same shape. In fact, it kind of looks like Exceed, the real Takara Tomy driver, at least just from this angle. So what I think this means is either they're giving us the real drivers, like they're the exact same as the Takara Tomy ones, or they're more like the Slingshot Turbo drivers, where it has the original mode and then the Slingshot mode, which made it act way differently in the stadium itself. Overall, I do think Hasbro is going to keep this whole speed element going on that we've had from Turbo and from Hypersphere, where the bays move around the stadium really fast. So they're going to cut off a lot of the weight, but they might be giving us the original drivers as kind of a mix of both worlds. And something else I do want to mention is I've seen some people in comments, etc., mention that Rise chips and these new Surge chips look pretty similar, so maybe you can combine them. I don't think so. These Surge chips do look quite a bit smaller than the Rise chips do, so I don't think you're going to be able to make a Slash Hyperion. So guys, that is going to wrap up the Beyblade vs. Surge news updates, and I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier in the video, the first of many, so we should be seeing more Surge stuff popping up pretty soon and over the next few months. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hit that like button down below. We're trying to hit 500 likes. Subscribe to join the Nook Nation, and like I said earlier, if you want to try and win yourself one of 10 World Spriggans, there's going to be a link in the description down below. What do you guys think of Beyblade vs. Surge, and how do you think that Hasbro is going to handle the Surge gimmick, whatever it's called? And I will see you guys in the next one. Have fun, and bay away.